Good morning, friends. Today I'll be taking you to part 2 of the SC-900 exam question and answers. In this part, we will be covering around 25 questions. In part 3 and 4, we will cover around 25 questions and then the series will end. So, moving on to the question number 26. Which of the following identity attacks attempt to match a username against a list of weak passwords? There are four questions and there are four options which have been given here. Option 1 is the spear phishing. Option 2 is the phishing attack. Option 3 is the password spray attack. Option 4 is the brute force attack. Now the correct option here is option number 3, which is the password spray attack. In password spray attack, it tries to match the username against a list of weak passwords. So while you're setting up the password, make sure you are setting it up a little complex one, not easily guessable. Okay, I'll move on to the question number 27. Which of the following cloud solution provides capabilities such as multi-factor authentication, identity protection, and role-based access control? Four options are given here: Azure Initiative, Azure Blueprint, Intune App Protection Policies, and Entra ID. Here the correct option is Entra ID. Entra ID has the capability to provide multi-factor authentication, identity protection, role-based access controls. Also, it can provision on-premise and third-party applications. Okay, so correct option here is option 4, Intro ID. Question number 28. Which two type of external identities are? Option 1, guest ID, intra ID guest and members. Option 2, work accounts, social identities. Option 3, intra ID accounts and Microsoft accounts. Option number 4 is the intra ID B2B and B2C. Now, intra ID B2B is business to business and B2C is the business to the consumer. In B2B, it allows you to set up the secure collaboration between the organization and the leveraging their work accounts. In B2C is a customer identity access management solution which helps you to log into your directory using their social account or social identity, such as Facebook ID or the Google ID. Okay, so here correct option is option number 4. Question 29. Which of these Azure services enables you to run realistic simulated phishing and password attack campaigns in your organization and train users to raise their user awareness on the attacks? It's similar to you are getting the emails, phishing emails from your organization to test your awareness, alertness. So if you're sensing that this is not a legitimate email, you report it to your organization as phishing, you mark it as phishing. So that is what the exercise is done by organization, and this question relates to that exercise. Now here four options which have been given. Option number 1, Microsoft Defender for Endpoint, Microsoft Defender for Identity, Microsoft Defender for Office 365, Intra ID password protection. So the correct option here is option number 3. Here in this particular option 3, attack simulation training in the MS Defender lets you run the realistic but the simulated phishing and password attack campaign in your organization. So next time when you get the email from your organization, which is a part of the phishing education, consider that this is done through the Microsoft Defender Office 365. Question number 30. Which of the following is not an advantage of the Azure Sentinel in providing integrated threat protection to your environment? Now, four options have been given here. Automates the data collection from the various sources using the connector, analyzes data across services to bring the greater context in identifying security incidents, discover apps in use on your endpoint to stop shadow IT. Option 4 is to automate incident responses using these security playbooks. Here the correct option is option number 3, discovers app in use on your endpoint to stop shadow IT. Now here the explanation which is given is app directory on the endpoint to help identify unsanctioned apps is a core function of Microsoft Cloud App Discovery, but is not a feature in the Azure Sentinel. Now Azure Sentinel is a completely different product, and Discovery Apps is part of the Cloud Apps Discovery. Okay, so keep that in mind. Moving on to question number 31. Blank space measures the progress in completing recommended environment actions within the compliance manager. Now, three options are given here. Option 1, Azure Secure Score. Option 2, Microsoft Secure Score. Option 3, Compliance Score. Now, the compliance score shows the compliance score and will forward the administrator, the compliance manager, where they can see a breakdown of the compliance score. Compliance score measures the progress in completing recommended improvements actions within control. This score helps an organization to understand its current compliance posture and prioritize action based on their potential to reduce the risk. Okay, correct option here is option number 3, compliance score. Question 32, retention labels are used to assign retention settings at an item level such as folder, documents, or emails. Is it true or false? The correct option here is true, because the use of retention policy to assign the same retention setting for the content at a site or mailbox level, and use a retention label to assign retention setting at an item level. You can go through retention policies and the retention label to get more information on it. The link is mentioned here. It will be updated in the comment box as well. Thank you. Question number 33. The core audit capability of the Microsoft Purview enables search across Microsoft 365 service through four options: Azure Purview, e-discovery workflow, a unified audit log, number 4, log analytics. You can use the Microsoft Purview Compliance Portal to search the unified audit log to view user and administrator activity in your organization. Correct option here is unified audit log. Question 34. Which of the following is an end-to-end solution in Microsoft Purview Compliance Portal that enables the admin to manage and track the compliance activity? Four options are being given here. Option number 1, Compliance Manager. Option number 2, Compliance Score. Option number 3, Microsoft 365 Security and the Compliance. Option 4, Privilege Access Management. Now here the correct answer is the Compliance Manager, that is option 1. Now Compliance Manager is an end-to-end solution in the Microsoft Purview Compliance Portal to enable the admin to manage and track compliance activities. Compliance score is a calculation of overall compliance posture across the organization. Moving on to question number 35. The cloud security posture management functionality in the Microsoft Defender for Cloud includes free tier functionality such as secure score, detection of misconfiguration, asset inventory. Option 2, a range of advanced intelligent protection in the standard tier of Azure Security Center. Number 3, all of these above. Number 4, none of the above. Cloud security posture management includes foundational features like the secure score, detection of security misconfiguration in your Azure workload, and asset inventory. Question 36. Intra-connect, intra-cloud syncs are used to configure which of the following identity model? There are four options given: federated, synchronized, hybrid, and all of the above. The correct option here is all of the above. All these are the security models which are supported by the intra-connect or intra-cloud sync. Now you can learn more about the intra-cloud sync in the link mentioned below. Question number 37. Which Microsoft Purview feature enables administrator to define policies to explicitly prevent communication between the groups or users within the organization to avoid regulatory breaches and conflict of interest issues. Four options are being given: insider risk management, communication compliance, information barrier, e-discovery. Correct option here is option number three, information barrier. Information barrier is 360 is as a product in the Microsoft 365 is designed to prevent the communication between the groups, business units, or individuals that may result in the conflict of interest. You can learn more about this particular piece, information barrier, in the link mentioned below. Question 38 is a collection of documentation, implementation, guidance, best practices, tools that are proven guidance from Microsoft's designed to accelerate your cloud adoption journey. Four options given here: Azure Fast Track, Azure Migration Jumpstart, Azure Well Architected Framework, Azure Microsoft Cloud Adoption Framework. Now, Microsoft Cloud Adoption Framework includes strategy, planning resources, migration guides, a cloud journey tracker, and many other resources to support a strong security posture in all the phases of migration and adoption. Moving on to question number 39. What is the difference between the document and the record? Record includes the evidences. Record must be retained for an extended period. Records must be deleted at the end of the retention period, all of the above. Record management in 365 helps an organization manage their legal obligation, provides the ability to demonstrate compliance with the regulation, and increases efficiency with the regular disposition of items that are no longer required to be retained, no longer of value, or no longer required for the business purpose. Record management in 365 includes notification, reminders, and disposition reviews, so you can ensure deletion of appropriate. Okay. Question number 40. Which of the following tool is used to collect, analyze large amount of data from across your entire estate, including the identity, endpoints, and infrastructure apps, and data to identify or alert on the potential security threats? Four options. Option 1, XDR, SOAR, SIM, SAML. Now here, the correct option is 3, SIM. That's Security Information Event Management, such as Azure Sentinel is a tool that organization uses to collect large amount of data from across your environment to correlate anomalous and potentially malicious activity to identify security threats. Moving on to question number 41. Which of the following statement accurately depicts a difference between the Windows Hello and the Windows Hello Business? Option 1. Windows Hello is a personal device while Windows Hello for Business is a managed device. Windows Hello uses key-based or certificate-based authentication factor. Option 3. Windows Hello supports FIDO2 authentication. Here in this case, the correct option is option 1, which is Windows Hello is for personal devices, while Windows Hello for Business is for managed devices. Question number 42. Which secure score provides visualization of the current security posture for your cloud infrastructure, such as VMs, web apps, instance, Azure SQL database? Four options: Microsoft 365 Secure Score, Azure Secure Score, Azure Compliance Manager, Microsoft 365 Security Compliance. Correct option here is Azure Secure Score. Question 43. You need to implement multi-factor authentication for your Entra user. However, you only want to prompt for an additional authentication factor when users are not in a trusted location on unmanaged devices. Which features should you implement? Four options are being given here: Entra ID conditional access, Entra ID protection, identity protection, Entra ID password protection, Entra privileged identity management. Now, Correct answer here is the conditional access, because the conditional access policies bring several benefits to the authentication authorization, including enabling selectively prompting user for a secondary authentication factor based on the user location, app selection, device compliance, or management state. Moving on to question number 44. What is the core value proposition of Azure Bastion? RDP SSH connectivity provided in a native window RDP client, any SSH client, no public IP address required for the Azure VM. RDP connectivity provided in the native Windows RDP client, but with no public IP required for the Azure VM. RDP SSH connectivity provided in a web browser with no RDP SSH client needed and no public IP address required for the Azure VM. RDP SSH connectivity provided over the Azure point of site VPN using the native Windows 10 VPN client. Azure Bastion is a service you deploy that lets you connect to a virtual machine using your browser and Azure portal. It provides secure and the seamless RDP SSH connectivity to your virtual machines directly from the Azure portal over the TLS. Okay. Now moving on to question number 45. Which of the following is not a benefit for the benefit of intra ID conditional access policies? Four options are given here, which improves productivity or by only prompting for the secondary authentication factor when conditions indicate, managed risk by factoring identity protection risk detection in user authentication attempts, improves identity governance through the auditing and restricting access based on the device compliance, managed device state by implementing device compliance policies to measure device compliance. Okay, correct option here is option 4, manage device state by implementing device compliance policies to measure device compliance. Quantiso IT recently implemented Microsoft Defender for endpoint to better protect its Windows 10 endpoints. Which of the following is a feature of endpoint behavioral sensor technology? It monitors for the configuration best practices in an endpoint security baseline. No. It discovers unsanctioned apps installed by the user on the endpoints. No. It monitors for and detects advanced threat on your Windows 10 and other endpoints, automates investigation and the threat response. This is the correct answer. Option number 3. Option 4 is the ingest data from the variety of Azure services to better access the full scope of an incident. Option 3 is the correct one. Moving on to question number 47. What are the categories shown on the secure score in the Microsoft Defender portal? Number 1, identities, data, devices, and apps. Number 2 is alert, incident, remediation, recommendation. Number 3, activities, entities, anomalies, and alert. Correct answer here is the option number 1, which is identities, data, devices, and the app. 48. Question number 48. Defender for server, Defender for key vault, Defender for storage are part of foundational cloud security posture management. That is not correct. The correct option here is option number 2, no, because the Defender for server, key vault, and Defender for storage are part of the cloud workload protection feature in the standard tier of Microsoft Defender for Cloud. Okay, you can get more information about the Defender for Cloud in the link mentioned below. Question number 49. Blank uses machine learning to intelligently classify your data. First option, sensitive information types. Sensitivity label is the second option. Third option, trainable classifier. Option number 4, regular expression. The correct option here is option number 3, trainable classifier, because it's a tool you can train to recognize various types of content by giving it samples to look at. Okay, once trained, you can use it to identify items for application of office sensitivity label. Okay, moving on to the last question, that is question number 50. Enables continuous asset discovery and monitoring using the built-in and agentless scanner continuously monitor and detect risk from devices even when not connected to the corporate network. Risks are then prioritized based on the threat intelligence and breach likelihood predictions. Option 1 is the Microsoft Defender Threat Intelligence, Microsoft Defender Vulnerability Management, Microsoft Purview Entitlement Management, Microsoft Defender for Cloud Apps. Defender Vulnerability Management continuously monitors and detects the vulnerability on the devices, intelligently prioritizes these vulnerabilities, and enable remediation issues with built-in workflow. Correct option here is option number 2, which is Defender Vulnerability Management. So that was the last question, guys. Thank you so much for investing your time in learning and going through this question answers. We will come up with the part 3 by end of the next week. Till then, stay tuned. Please like, share, and subscribe my YouTube channel. Thank you very much. Have a good day.